Hey Violet, how you doing today? It's your daddy here, and I got a new story for you today. Guess how much I love you by Sam McBrantney, illustrated by Anita Jerem. I think you have this book. I think I read it to you before actually, but we're gonna read it again today. For Deborah and Joanne, Sam McBrantney. To Liz with love, Anita Jerem. This is the dedication page. You remember I told you about that? The author and the illustrator get to dedicate this book to people that they love or show them how much they love them. And look, there's a little picture. So let's get started. Little Nut Brown Hare, who was going to bed, held on tight to Big Nut Brown Hare's very long ears. He wanted to be sure that Big Nut Brown Hare was listening. Guess how much I love you, he said. Oh, I don't think I could guess that, said Big Nut Brown Hare. This much, said Little Nut Brown Hare, stretching out his arms as wide as they could go. He stretched. Big Nut Brown Hare had even longer arms. But I love you this much, he said. Hmm, that is a lot, thought Little Nut Brown Hare. Look how long his arms are. Can you stretch your arms out? Stretch. See how far they stretch. I love you as high as I can reach, said Little Nut Brown Hare. Reach. I love you as high as I can reach, said Big Nut Brown Hare. That is very high, thought Little Nut Brown Hare. I wish I had arms like that. Look at how little he is. Then Little Nut Brown Hare had a good idea. He tumbled upside down and reached up the tree trunk with his feet. I love you all the way up to my toes, he said. And I love you all the way up to your toes, said little big nut brown hare, swinging him up over his head. Look now, his toes are all the way up there. He said, I love you all the way up to your toes. Oh, they're so happy. I love you as high as I can hop, laughed little nut brown hare. Hop, hop, hop. Pouncing up and down. Hop, 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 hop. But I love you as high as I can hop, smiled big nut brown hare, and he hopped so high that his ears touched the branches above. Wow, look at that. Look at how high up he is. That's good hopping, thought little nut brown hare. I wish I could hop like that. I love you all the way down to the lane as far as the river, cried little Nut Brown Hare. I love you across the river and over the hills, said Big Nut Brown Hare. That's very far, thought little Nut Brown Hare. He was almost too sleepy to think any more. Then he looked beyond the thorn bushes, out into the big, dark night. Nothing could be farther than the sky. I love you right up to the moon, he said, and closed his eyes. Oh, that's far, said Big Nut Brown Hare. That is very, very far. Big Nut Brown Hare settled little Nut Brown Hare into his bed of leaves. He leaned over and kissed him good night. Then he lay down close by and whispered with a smile, I love you right up to the moon and back. The end. Um, and that was Little Nut Brown. Oh, sorry. That was Guess How Much I Love You. Sorry, I had to pause the recording. I got something stuck in my eye. Um, I'm gonna tell you right now, you might love me, but you'll never love me as much as I love you. And that's okay. And you know something else? God loves us more than we'll ever love him. And you see that moon? The moon glows at night and it shines down on us. But you know where the moon gets its light? The moon doesn't have its own light. The moon actually gets its light from the sun, and then it takes that light and it shines it down on us. And that's how your daddy, he gets his love from God. God is the source of all love. It all comes from God and from Jesus. And your daddy takes that love and he shines it back down on you. And you get the just like we get the sunlight too. You get to have God's love as well, and it'll help you when you have your own children someday. Maybe you'll love them. You'll love them more than they love you, more than they can, because a parent's love is that strong. And you know, uh, and when you build a relationship with God, you can love that much more strongly. And you know, it all comes from the source. So anyway, that was Guess How Much I Love You again. And can you think of other ways to tell people how much you love them, especially your mom? I bet you love your mom, and it's something your mom loves you more than may- probably more than you can ever love her back because she's your mama. you know. And like I said, a parent's love is just that strong. It's one of the strongest loves that there is. And so you maybe you could tell your mama you love her to the moon and back. or you love her this much, or you love her as high as you can reach, or you love her as high up as your tippy toes are when you standing on your head. Or you could say, I love you to the end of the universe and back. And but you know what? I bet she'll always find a way to say she loves you more. You know, before you were born, and actually when you were in your mama's belly, um, daddy would get up every morning to go to work, and your mama would be asleep still. But if daddy didn't give her a kiss on the cheek or a kiss on the forehead, she would know, and she would say, "Where's my kiss?" And then she asked me every morning, "Don't leave without giving her a kiss goodbye." And so every morning, whether she was awake or asleep, usually she was asleep, but I would still give her a kiss goodbye, and she knew. And when you love somebody, you show them every single day if you can, or as much as you can. You don't just tell them, but you show them too. And sometimes, you know, she would be asleep when I woke up, and she would be asleep when I get home because I worked long hours back then. And sometimes, so we would write little notes to each other, and we would find those notes and read them. And it was really sweet. And we just talked through notes, even though we lived together. We write little notes to each other. Yeah, but you know, uh, you there's you'll never run out of ways to show and tell somebody how much you love them, and it's very important to do so. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you have a really good day. And I love, 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 love you to the moon and back, to the end of the universe and back. I love you this much. I love you as high as I can reach, and all the other things. I hope you have a good day. Mwah. Bye bye.